If you look at the stones in the street, they're going to look a little bit like river rocks to you, because that's what they were originally. They were English river rocks. They came over here as ballast. The weight you put in one. 1776, they read the Declaration of Independence off that balcony. But 4 years later, they had 3 of the men who signed that document imprisoned in the dungeon beneath, where the British occupied the city from 1780 to 1782. 3 floors worth of our story to tell. The bottom floor is a guided tour of the upper office building in the 1930s. Fixed all up and painted that color like that. I guess to show off a little bit, she had a big party for all of her society friends. She talked all them into buying these other buildings, painting these Barbadian colors like this. Easy, easy. You know, I was on Facebook, of all places, the other day, and I ran across an interview somebody had done with Miss Legg a few decades ago before she died. She was talking about having grown up on Mulberry Plantation up on the Cooper River. She said that she was one of the last people in Charleston who could remember growing rice. Rice, R-I-C-E. Rice, that's the way she said that. Just in case you thought I had a pickaxe. Now these buildings were built in the mid-1700s, so by the 1930s they were in Charleston sometimes. So pleasant cool. No, it's not. Beach down here in Cooper River for you real quick. There's a finger land that comes from this side. That's Fort Moultrie. That was the site of the first decisive defeat of the British during the Revolutionary War. There's another finger land that comes from the other side. That's Fort Johnson. But way out there in the center of the harbor, right in the middle of the harbor's mouth, that's Fort Sumter. And that was the target for the first shots of the American Civil War fired April 12, 1861. Did not agree on what the front of the house should look like. Actually, however, it's done in what's called an Italian Renaissance revival style, so it's not very unusual kind of porticos you see in the front of the house. You'll notice it's for sale. I had a lady on the wagon with me back a couple of weeks ago, and I had looked the house up. She asked me, she said, "What's the house selling for?" So, man, I hadn't really checked on that when we just went on the market. I hadn't really looked at it, but based on what they're going for, I'd say somewhere between about $6 and $7 million. She looked it up on her phone. She said, "You're wrong. It's 3.1. I said, "Really? 3.1? Are you sure?" She said, "It says right here, 3.1 for Unit A." Man, there's more than one unit here. Honeymoon. We want you to go to all the port cities in Europe. I want you to buy a piece of furniture in every single one. We're going to pay for the whole thing. We're going to pay for the trip, pay for the furniture to be shipped back home. So that when you get back home in 2 years, you're running gas lines in for illumination. Today those are paid for by the private homeowner. Cost about $15 a month. If you've seen pictures of Charleston online or in magazines, you've probably already seen a few before. Over here on the right-hand side, the Dock Street Theater, which used to sit on Dock Street. That's the old name for Queen Street up here. The same year they changed the name of the street, they moved the theater to the old Planters Hotel built in 1809. And one of the featured actors down here in the early 1800s, a guy they were crazy about named Junius Booth. If that sounds like John Wilkes Booth, that's Daddy. And just as crazy as his son was known for going out and breaking up the gravestones of his children with an axe. Really charming guy. This little pink church right here beside us, the last French Huguenot church left in America. Again, Huguenot just means Protestant. Does anybody know what major contribution the French Huguenots made to American history? Nobody ever knows this, and I'm not surprised that you don't. First European settlement in the continental United States, what they called Fort Caroline. Today we would call that Jacksonville, Florida. And the reason you probably wouldn't know that is because about a year later the Spanish showed up.